Something beyond comprehension is happening to a little girl on this street, in this house. A man has been sent for, as a last resort, to try and save her.
All right, what is going on, everybody? Good evening. I am Chris C, aka the Slasher Dude. I am joined by my horror brother. Always great to see him here, and that is Keith, aka Gorphobe, aka G.A.P. How are you doing tonight, Keith?
Oh, great, man. Doing really good, man. Feeling really good these days.
Excellent. It's really good, and you got Jason here. Thanks for joining, my man. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you all very much for the support. And yeah, talking to Keith about this. I am on vacation. I'd like to wish my late father a happy birthday. He died in 1999 of lung cancer. He's throwing footballs with the. He's probably catching footballs from Mr. Kennedy Stabler up there, probably for quite a while, and all those great Raider players. So. Happy birthday, Dad. I love you and I miss you on first day of fall. And yeah, first day of fall, spooky season. And I'm like, you know what? Why not? So we're going to be doing a watch along and discussion here. And I couldn't think of anybody better to join me than my horror brother here, Keith. He loves this film, as do I. This is more than a horror film. Done in 1973. This film changed the face of horror forever, in my opinion. We had stuff like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and stuff like that, but then you got what we're going to be watching and talking about, which is The Exorcist, directed by the late, great William Friedkin. Loosely based off a true story. All-star cast, of course, Ellen Bernstein, the late, great Max von Sydow, Linda Blair, of course. You can just count of how many people, great actors and actresses are in here. And this is more than a horror film to me. It has very dark, dreadful scenes in here. I'm a mama's boy, and I'm just going to state this for a fact. I'll never put my mother in one of those places ever. I mean, she's told me that. There's a scene we'll get to in this film. It's haunting. You have nightmares about this. Basically, quick synopsis. Follows she's an actress and her daughter, and all of a sudden, really it starts out, von Sydow's character, his father Marin, is in Iraq, I believe, around that area, finds this coin that predates the church. Just remember that. They state that it predates the church. Just he states it in their language, evil fighting evil, and it just goes on from there. Her daughter, played by Linda Blair, gets sick. They don't know what the problem is, and then it just goes bat hell crazy from there. A lot of tragedy happens here, and they bring in Father Damien Karras in here, who happens to be a psychologist. I believe what he's studying for. Very cool, interesting character. Love him to death. And who's taking care of his mother, his sick mother, who I believe suffers from Alzheimer's. And, these events happen, all this other stuff too. He goes in there to try to find out, to help her out, and then it just starts from there. The horror starts from there. There's dread throughout this film. It's more than a film. This got nominated I think it won a few Academy Awards here. It's the only film of its kind to get the accolades that it got, next to stuff like, you can say, Silence of the Lambs, but really nothing comes closer than The Exorcist. It's top tier horror all time, in my opinion, of course. I'll just hand it off to you, Keith. What's your thoughts on this awesome film?
Oh man, this is one of the first horror films that I remember. It's one of the first films. It's one of my first memories of film. This come out the same year that I was born. And I remember seeing this when I was probably 5, 6 years old. It was my first viewing of this. And it's still, I don't know if it was the time, because when you're 5 or 6 years old and seeing it then in the late 70s, it definitely stuck with you. It's still parts of this still really scares me. And I think that's why it holds a special place to me. And it was nominated for like 9, I do believe.
Amazing.
And this was the first horror movie to ever really get the acknowledgement from the Academy. And
isn't that crazy? Yeah.
And
films were made like Rosemary's Baby before this, in my opinion, where they wouldn't touch it at all. And with this one, like you say, it just hit differently. Like I say, with your top generation people.
Look, it took another 17, 18 years after this for them to acknowledge another one, which was Silence of the Lambs.
Yes.
And this was and this didn't get any of the main awards. It did not. I mean, not really.
Not best director. No.
Ellen Burstyn didn't get actress. Linda Blair didn't get supporting, and I think they both deserved it. Friedkin definitely deserved at least director.
I'll say this: Ellen got her shot again in Requiem for a Dream. Next to this performance, that to me is her best performance. I love her. She's a great actress in anything she's played. So to your point,
that is her greatest performance, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Did she win for that?
I think she did. I know she was nominated. So like I said, with Max Van Sydow, what can you say about him? Legendary actor. He played in a lot of stuff. Hell, he played in Dario. He played, with Dario Argento in Sleepless. What else can you say? Being the Merciless in Flash Gordon. I mean, Dune. Like, those are later roles he played and stuff like that. Great career. Linda Blair, Savage Streets. I mean, Hell Night. I mean, she's a scream queen. I mean, what was that TV film, like The Long Summer or whatever it's called, I think, or something, or or something like that. So a lot of horror royalty in this stuff.
She did Summer of Fear. She also did Hell Night. She did Portrait of a Teenage Alcoholic. Just tons of shit. Savage Streets with a very young, which actually a lot of people know. Quigley was actually older than Linda Blair in Savage Streets.
Oh, she was in that. Yeah.
Yeah, she played the little sister, but she was actually older. But this was never intended on being a horror film. Just like one of my favorite directors ever, Friedkin, said that this was just meant to be a look at the struggle of faith, of the good
science,
good and evil. And he went at this at the most realistically look that he could go at the fantastic, because he didn't know if he believed in possession or God or the devil or any of that. So he just wanted it at the most documentary outlook that he possibly could go at it.
It does play like that.
So and that's why it's so terrifying, So
all right, we got JT's horror discussions in the chat. What is going on, JT? Check out his channel, everybody. Great dude, great knowledge. He does great stuff, man. Always good to see you. Love this horror family for life. Real quick, one of our fellow YouTubers that have been in some collabs, Tiana. I'm not going to say what's going on with her. I'm just going to say, you say strong, sweetheart, you and your significant other. Just remember, God is good, and man, we're all with you, okay? So you take care of yourself. We can't wait till you get back to doing this. So you take care, and we're going to start this thing quickly too. We're watching the extended director's cut of this one, so it's about 132 minutes. So not too bad. It's probably the quintessential cut, the one that I've seen many times that they've shown on AMC, that they've shown on other networks. It's definitely that one, it's a great film. Real quick, I'm going to mention, like I say, there's been books written on possession. Like I say, this is based off the book by William Peter Blatty. The Exorcist 3 is based off the other book that he did called Legion. So yeah, absolutely. And that's an old school paperback from hell right there. Yeah, absolutely.
First printing of the paperback right here.
Oh damn. Yeah. And
it's not its greatest shape, but it does have all of its pages. Doesn't have the cover, but it does have all its pages. It opens up the Northern
There it is.
Iraq.
Yeah, prologue, Northern Iraq. Absolutely. I plan on getting that book. I have that on my wish list. There's different versions of that. I've started to get more into horror books. I've been into more horror books the last few years. Before I did the horror film YouTube thing, I was into horror books. I have a lot. One I want to mention real quick. I won't show the picture of it because it's on my Amazon account. It's from Ray Russell. It's called The Case Against Satan. So it basically, before The Exorcist was written and stuff like that, Ray Russell is crazy. So this was a 1962 horror novel, A Case Against Satan. So this was done around the same time. Well, of course, Rosemary's Baby was done a few years after this, but Ray Russell, you don't know who he is, check out his stuff. Classic, old school, author. I'm starting to get into these classic authors. William Peter Blatty is one of them. Matheson, like a lot of these people, there's been books done on this and stuff like that, and freaking did his research, to your point. And he's like, you know what? And I'm a God-fearing Catholic man, so this hits differently. It does. It hits differently. And you're going to see it in this film. It questions faith. It questions a lot of stuff. Bernstein, she kills it in this part. She kills it. This made her career. And,
Yes, when Blatty was going to Georgetown. And he did a paper on possession because one of the priests that was there,
yes.
He ended up getting all the information from one of the priests that actually did it.
Yes.
From the actual case that was done on the little boy in 1949, right?
Yes.
There.
That's what I think the book on the Case Against Satan was based off of, is that story. And
Maryland.
To your point, this happens all over the world too. It's not just here, but yeah, if you think that's a bunch of bullshit with Catholic priests doing that, they did do that back in the day. Dude, he did the research. Yeah, look at the ancient texts. They did that back in the day. First exorcism, of course, was done by Christ. That in the biblical text, he said it. Who are you? We are everywhere. We are legion. I mean, of course, we have a demon's name in here, which they don't kind of state who the demon is. You just find about the name of the demon later, but it's a good one. And we're going to start this. We're going to start this bad boy. And Keith's going to share this great knowledge because he loves this film as much as I do. And it's always cool having the coolest dude on YouTube talk about it. So,
I'm just going to show off some of the physical media. And since Friedkin died just about a year ago, I want to show you, and I want to share this case everybody doesn't know.
Yes,
probably the coolest documentary that I've ever seen. That it not only talks a lot about The Exorcist, but it really lends itself inside the heart and the mind of Friedkin and his making of The Exorcist. And it's Leap of Faith, and it's a Shudder original. It's on Shudder right now.
Yeah.
If you really went inside the heart and mind of William Friedkin a year or two before he died, it's right here.
That's nice.
It's right. It's him in his own words, him narrating and talking all the way through this thing from beginning to end. He's talking about it. It is fucking beautiful. Anybody that knows me and knows my channel knows how much I respect and love listening to Friedkin talk, especially about this film.
I've gotten into that ever since watching that Doc Shutter did on Dario Argento. I'm like, yeah, it's so cool talking to these directors. Yeah. Ridley Scott is that way.
He's so interesting. Man.
Yeah, a lot of these directors. Stanley Kubrick. Yeah. Oh,
there's a VHS of The Exorcist. Here is version you've never seen, which is actually different than the director's cut
Yes.
of the Exorcist.
Yeah.
There's subtle differences.
That's a nice
on
snapper
DVD.
case. They need to bring those back.
There's a Blu-ray steelbook of the
I've
Exorcist.
seen that one around. Yeah.
There's a Walmart exclusive Blu-ray that's been out about a year or so now.
Yeah, I got that slip. Yep.
Here is this is
well, me.
This was this actually has the Friedkin connection. It has the book here. This was out of print for a while. And it went for top dollar for a minute. Here is the media book.
Oh, that's sick. That's pretty sick. Yeah.
And then here is the Bible.
I'm jealous. And the purple Bible. So that's correct. That's Roman Catholic. Yeah. The gold like looking pages. Yeah, dude. That's sold out real quick.
Oh yeah, really quick.
Real quick. The Dead Pit Boys and Garrett, they're all getting on that shit. Oh.
Here's an unopened deck of cards on The Exorcist.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Mini VHS like.
Here is the vinyl from Waxworks Records.
Bro, that cover looks great. We all know that cover is too. That is so good. Oh, wow.
And there's the gold.
They knew what they're doing. Yeah, that's great. Good job, Keith. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. There's my Exorcist stuff.
All drooling right there. Yeah, that's right. They're all drool and glue their face to the screen when Keith brings out the goodies there. One of these days, again, we'll do badass collector's edition. I'll have you on, Keith. You can show off those goodies that you've shown off in the past to make them drool a little bit more. So, yeah, great stuff. Yeah, very good. Yeah, great stuff. Like I said, I have the 4K. I did get the 4K of it with that greenish looking cover. I get it because I get these films. I'll quad dip on these films if I love them. I've done that with Event Horizon. I have 4 different versions of that film. So I'm not going to, Jaws, Terminator 2 specifically. So, yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to start this bad boy here. We'll start the countdown here a little bit. It's got the menu up. So, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to get possessed and freaked out.
Ready? All right. We going?
Yep. Warner Brothers all in black and white like that. That looks so good. They never did that with anything else really at the time.
Yeah, man. I remember when they first come out with this. Someone I knew rented it on VHS, and they brought it over, and I was just blown the fuck away. I never went back. There's a lot of people this day prefer the original '73 theatrical cut. I don't. I never went back after seeing it. Well, I prefer the version you've never seen.
I don't think I've seen this cut of the film before because I know the way the original film starts out, but this is a trip here.
Basically, the difference between the director's cut and the version you've never seen is the imprint of Pazuzu on the wall and shit like that.
Yes.
Isn't in the director's cut, but it's in the version you've never seen. Like when she goes up and picks on Reagan and shuts the window and it's real cold. Yeah. When she leaves, the statue of Pazuzu's on the wall and shit like that is not in the director's cut.
I know there's the scene too where it's basically at the end where it's like, take me, do it, and stuff like that. I know there's talk about maybe not doing that, keeping it kind of a mystery there.
Yeah. There's also a scene where they're sitting on the steps and Karis is going, why this girl? It doesn't make sense. And Marin's like, I think the whole point is to disparage, is for us to just not believe in God because, why would God allow this, if he cares so much.
Right. That's Alexander the Great territory. If you all don't know, he went through there. So a lot of those are the remnants of Alexander the Great when he went through there doing his conquering, what have you. Great transfer, by the way, on this Blu-ray. This is really good. I can state out the bat. This will be number 5. So I have 4 more to go after this one of films that I own, and then, I mean, maybe I'll break the bank.
Yeah.
There's only a few things I want. Anyway. Yeah, this looks really good. I found something, small pieces. Where? The base of the mound. Yeah. I like how his character is. He looks tired. He does, because he's been there for a while, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, plus the makeup, man. Oh, Jesus Christ! Of you know, I mean, you got Dick Smith, and this is Rick Baker's first job as makeup. He sent a letter to Rick Baker sent a letter to Dick Smith, telling him that he was going to be in New York and how much he admired him and shit. And he was a kid, and he was like, well, if you're going to be here, come by. I'd like to see some of your work. Well, he came by, had his parents dropped him off, and said, here, I'll keep him for a little while. I'll drop him back off. Don't worry about it. And then he ended up showing him a few things. A couple weeks later, called him up and said, hey, I'm getting ready to do this movie called The Exorcist. Do you want to come and help me with it? That was Rick Baker's first job.
Yeah, that's when he sees like a coin or medallion. He all wipes it off or whatever like that. He goes, interesting. It's not of this period. So that means that was placed there.
Yeah.
So it predates. It predates what's already been there, which is a trip. That's where he gets out a statue. Yeah, the little statue and shit. Yeah. I think this is where Tobe Hooper got the idea for Poltergeist a little bit too. And there it is.
But yeah, young people to this day still don't know that Rick Baker worked on this.
Yeah, because I didn't know. Rick Baker was great.
He was kind of apprenticing for Dick Smith in this. Yeah, that's something I didn't know for years.
You could say Videodrome was kind of his big break-wise, but no, he did other stuff before that. So,
oh, yeah. Well, hell yeah, he did. But yeah, he did. He was supposed to do The Howling.
Oh, that would have been great.
Yeah, and ended up
he's taking his like a shot of something while he's taking those pills. It'll have to be for like anxiety or something because his hands are shaking like crazy because he knows.
Just like he apprenticed for Dick Smith, Rob Bottin apprenticed for him. You know what I mean? Type aspect.
Yeah, you always gotta like that. Yeah, it's like that with directors.
Isn't that cool? Just like Greg Nicotero apprenticed for
Bava for Freda. Well, they're kind of under the same stuff, but I mean, you got some good directors coming under them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Greg Nicotero and his team were great, but he still wouldn't be quite what he is today if it wasn't for Speen. And plus, that helps give you your break, you know?
Yeah. I can equate this in Iraq, too, to the opening scene in Hellraiser, where he's somewhere, and, you know, where it looks like it's in the desert-type place, all sweaty and all this other stuff, too, where he hands him the box. He says, take it, Mr. Cotton. It was yours. It always was. You kind of see that aesthetic in films like this. Like, he sees it all over the place here, this character, Father Marin does. You can just tell. He's like, I have to get out of here.
There's so many signs here that he's seeing, like here when he's seeing these guys, you know, when they're fucking, you know, when they're forging and shit. And
statues of like emperors and kings and stuff like that. Yeah.
And that dude turns and looks at him. Did you see that look he got on his face? He got a look on his face like, whoa, it's like, it almost weakened him when that guy looked at him.
Yeah, the one dude with like the wide eye and shit, like he's being watched.
Mm-hmm.
Evil against evil. Yeah.
Exactly.
Father?
Yeah, that dude turned and looked directly at him.
Yeah, and the time and the clock stops. I just noticed that. Dude, I just noticed that the clock stops. Like you see the ding ding like that, it just stops.
You know, Friedkin did not necessarily intend on anything being meant by that. When he did that, he talks about that in that leap of faith, that he did not necessarily intend on that being to do with Pazuzu. I was like, what? Okay.
Well, it's like time stands still here or something.
Right.
Or like, why did the clock stop? Not supposed to. Yeah.
Just a series of events, you know what I mean? Kind of like of like how the prophecy goes, how there's a series of events to say, you know, the end of times or whatever. It's like, yeah, you know. But I always took it to where the demon did that, though. You know what I mean? Just like the demon causes the dogs to kind of go crazy.
Oh yeah, the demon's effing with them. Of course it is. Yeah.
That's what I take it. Yeah, because
which makes it interesting is did he take the demon back with him when he went back? Because it got to her somehow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he knows from this time forward that he's going to get that call when he's wandering around.
He automatically knows. Yeah.
He's waiting for someone to come and tell him.
Battle's going to happen here. Yeah, it's going to.
He's not surprised.
Yeah.
He's not happy about it, but he's not surprised.
No.
As soon as he seen that little head of Pazuzu, he was like,
See the nuns there and stuff like that he passes during these long corridors and stuff like that. That's crazy.
Yeah. And they obviously know him really well because when he comes there and pulls up in the Jeep and shit, and they all come running with their machine guns, and it's like, it's just Marin.
Yeah.
And then they all just walk away.
Yeah, he almost gets run over by the carriage and the woman in there.
Yeah. It's a good thing it was him, because if it was somebody else, they'd got wiped the fuck out.
Yeah.
Well, that's just
all ancient buildings. That's such a trip. Those are like 3,000 years old or older.
Oh yeah. Have you noticed in every other country they got all this older shit and all this ancient stuff that they hold sacred, except this country, except this country.
Like you say, with the dudes with the machine guns, they're there for a reason. So grave robbers don't go in there, take the shit. That's why. That's big business for them.
They don't fuck around over in the Middle East, man. They don't fuck around with much. They don't have much of a sense of humor.
You see all the ancient god statues. He goes right up on that mountain. That's a trip. It's like he gets pulled towards the statue because there's a statue up here. He gets pulled towards it.
Like all those carvings. I mean, you know how long it takes for that shit to get worn down? There
it is. Yeah, there it is, right there. It blocks out the sun.
Yeah. Was he aware that this Pazuzu statue was there prior? I wonder. He had to.
He had to. Well, yeah. When shooting this scene, because you can have shot this better, where the sun just goes right over it. And there it is.
Now, I've got an interesting story with this statue. This statue they had made. This is
you see the two dogs fighting there. They're like they couldn't help itself.
This statue, they had it shipped to Iraq. They accidentally had it shipped to Hong Kong instead.
You see that, how he has his hand up like that? Like a hail?
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. That's great. Those two, like one on each pedestal, dude, just staring each other down.
Yeah, with the snake as the penis. Now, the actual Pazuzu statue looks a lot like that. Not exactly. It's a little different. But it's close.
Yeah, Georgetown. Those are true angel wings. If you don't believe me, It's kind of true. They look like a butterflies. Right. It's kind of true. They do look like that, or how the biblical texts kind of describe angels as. Demons are the same way. They're just different.
It's funny how Bloody used Pazuzu, because Pazuzu didn't defile children and shit like that. Pazuzu actually was.
I don't know much about because all the demons, the devil's angels are all fallen angels to begin with that join forces with him. That's the way the story goes.
Well, I mean, Pazuzu wasn't nice. Don't get me wrong, but Pazuzu actually was guardian over babies and like pregnant mothers or something like that.
I kind of works with a child, but true. That's true. Dang, yeah, looks like you did better research than him, maybe.
I thought that was odd.
It's like they mentioned in the Pope's Exorcist, believe it or not, there's like how many? 7? There's 7 or 6 of them, like main ones, I think. But that was it was a quick mention, just to mention it, And I'm like, I have to check that out,
There's a whole other demon that defiles children. I can't remember which one it is, but it's not Pazuzu.
Well, Krampus does. You have to. He's the shadow of St. Nicholas.
So I think it's interesting that Blatty chose Pazuzu, because he had to have done his research. Blatty, you know what I mean?
Maybe he just didn't want to actually put the the actual one in there, possibly.
Right.
Of course, with books, you can get away with a lot of stuff in books. You still can.
Maybe he just didn't want to hit it too much on the head. He didn't want to
Right,
make it
yeah.
too. He was probably afraid to, because Blatty was a very religious man.
Those make for the best kind of books. I mean,
he was a very big believer, so he probably, he was a very God-fearing man. So he probably didn't want to get too close to fact with the demons.
it's like all the ancient, or called, the classic horror writers like H.P. Lovecraft, flipping Edgar Allan Poe. I mean, Poe specifically, he was born from a womb from a corpse. I mean, he had that already in him to do that literature. Dang, Ellen looks young here. She's quite pretty.
Yeah. A few years after this, let me see. The very next year after this, she did Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore.
Oh yeah, that's about like split personality or something.
So I don't think I've ever seen it, actually.
I remember it was one documentary I was watching, I think on CNN, of like films of the 70s and stuff like that, and they talked to her about a film that she did. They talked to her about a few films that she did. I'm like going, oh, that's great.
If you ever get a chance, in the late 70s, either 78 or 79, she did a movie with Alan Alda called Same Time Next Year. It is fantastic. It's from a Neil Simon play. If you get a chance to watch it, watch it.
There's they show Damien Karras there, like at her shoot there. You see all her fans there and all this other stuff too. And her that was her friend, right? Like the friend who gets drunk and something happens to him. I'm not going to state that what happens.
Burke, yeah.
Yeah, Burke.
That's the director.
Yeah, the director. You must be lonely up there. What is it? It must be. No, you must be high up there.
Yeah. He said, would you like to summon the director? He's in France, I believe.
And this is kind of her person in real life too. She is a big advocate for women's rights. She's a huge advocate for this.
And it's definitely a time for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vietnam is still going on.
Yes.
This is toward the latter part of it, but it was definitely still going on.
You can say a little bit of the opposite of Jane Fonda a little bit, but
which is funny because they actually offered the part to her. They actually offered this part.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
And she rejected it. She said, I can't remember exactly what it was she said, but why would I want to be in a some piece of shit, basically.
She was in a great film called Clute, which I have, with Donald Sutherland. She got the Academy Award for that part, playing a prostitute, no less. So
she's a very good actress, regardless of what her political beliefs may be.
Oh, no. Great family. Dude, legendary acting family. Dude, Peter Fonda, he did some stuff.
And you don't get much sexier than her in a Barbarella either. So
No, you don't. Oh, no, in those exercise videos. Yeah.
Yeah, she's hot as fuck, yeah.
You hear the piano theme here. This, man, it just sticks with you. Yeah.
This when I decided to collect horror movie official soundtracks on vinyl, this was a must.
Oh yeah, this Halloween, like anything John Carpenter's money.
I got most of Carpenter. The only Carpenter film, there's two Carpenters that I don't have that I really insist on getting, and I don't have The Thing yet, and I don't have Christine yet.
The first soundtrack I ever got was the Mortal Kombat 90s soundtrack. That's my all-time favorite soundtrack, just for the music at the time. I'm a 90s kid. So, I mean, KMFDM, you have Fear Factory, you have Depeche Mode.
She actually almost didn't get this role. Friedkin had to fight for her. They didn't want her for this.
Who's that? That's the babysitter, isn't it, that she's talking to? Or
Sharon, yeah. Sharon, yeah, played by Kitty Wynn.
Boy, there she is. Man, she was young here.
But yeah, he had to fight for her on it. They didn't want her. They wanted someone a little more marketable. Same thing with the Karras role.
Oh, he's a great actor. That's
Jason Miller.
Yeah, Jason Miller, who came back for Exorcist 3.
Yeah.
Isn't that an interesting name, Damien Karras? I mean,
Yes.
The Omen, like you say for that just makes it a little bit more,
Right.
Hot take: I've never seen The Omen either. I've only seen clips of it.
Wow.
I have that set.
The Omen
That's out of print too, by the way.
The Omen is like the precursor to the Final Destination movies, in my opinion.
Yes, it is. Oh yeah, I love those films.
A lot of the a lot of the way people get killed in The Omen is a lot of the way people are killed in the Final Destination film.
I've seen that kill scene with the glass.
Yep.
Was it the window, whatever it is, and that you could have shot that scene better. That head just landed at the right spot. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, in slow motion, no less.
Yeah, except for it's not done by fate or by death. It's done by, of course,
Yeah, there's Father.
Type.
There's Father Karras there, just taking the subway home and all this stuff too.
Yeah,
the homeless dude offering him something. Yeah, he starts talking to him. Yeah.
They wanted Anne Bancroft, Audrey Hepburn, Jane Fonda.
Hepburn would have been very interesting.
Shirley MacLaine wanted it, but and she was very good. Shirley MacLaine was very good friends with Friedkin, but he didn't want her for it. He wanted Bergson.
All the kids all just hopping on the busted up cars and shit.
I seen a then and now video. There's a YouTuber did a then and now video of this neighborhood, and it's changed a lot.
It's probably the same one that used to do stuff for Scream Factory. I know what you're talking about.
There's a few of them that do those then and now.
Yeah.
Grim Life does.
One YouTuber I want that went to the place where Part 7 Friday the 13th was filmed at. I'm like, whoa, it looks totally different. Like the roads that lead there. There's a lot of trees surrounding that place.
Adam the Woo does them.
Yeah.
My favorite that does them is probably either Sean Clark or Grim Life.
Yeah, Sean Clark. That's the one I'm thinking of. I watched one of his videos on his collection update, like all the collection of stuff that he has. I'm like, holy shit, look at this.
He's the one that made me want to start collecting one sheet theatrical posters.
Nice.
Because he's got
that's cool. They have actual pictures of him and the lady when they were younger and stuff like that. That's so cool when they do that. Yeah, there she is. Yeah. Demi.
Demi. Why you do this to me, Demi? Why?
Demi. Man, this just gets to me. It always does when I see that. It's like reminds me of my grandma. It really does. It's like
well, these two have such great chemistry. Like you believe that that's his mother. You know what I mean? You really believe.
Hi, Mama. Yeah.
And
with the old school radio and shit.
They don't share much screen time, but they got great chemistry.
Yeah, like she's all rocking in the rocking chair and stuff like that, talking to him. Yeah.
Who is more motherly than this woman?
Yeah, her leg hurts and all that stuff. So he retapes. What were you trying to do? She's trying to clean and stuff like that, just like my grandma used to do. She used to be up at the crack of dawn cleaning, dude. She used to get up at 4 a.m. in the morning. It's like, I can't keep on taking care of you like this, Mom. I just can't do it. And it's like, man. Because remember, it wasn't his choice to do what what happened to her. That was not his choice. And he regrets that, but it's not his fault, man. It's like, there's a scene with him and his uncle. I would kick his ass.
His uncle's a fucking punk.
No, he's a prick. Who's going to take care of her? You? And I'm like, who's going to take care of her? You?
Yeah. He's simply following. He's trying to follow God rather than make the money. And he's right in the middle.
Like to be a doctor or whatever. That's what he's training to be. But he wants to stay with this, which is interesting because the church has people like this. Of course they do. Medicine, all this other stuff. Yeah, of course they do.
He's right in the middle of a crisis of faith anyway, and he's got these people coming down on him. His mom's dying. His uncle's coming down on him. He's not making any money. This is her home. She doesn't want to leave. Yet his job's over here. So he's having a rough time.
Him and his buddy, very cool dude. You know.
This film is about Damien Karras. This story is his story.
Yeah, it's a story within a story. Yeah.
It's not Reagan's story. It's not the McNeils. It's not Father Merrin's. It's Damien Karras.
This just happens to happen because something happens to her. Like it just automatically just strikes her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, the Ouija board. Because she talks about like what is Uncle Howdy? Yeah, it's Uncle Howdy. Yeah. So who's Uncle Howdy? You know?
Captain Howdy, yeah.
Yeah, Captain Howdy.
which was of course the name that Dee Snider's character was in Strangeland.
Strangeland, yeah.
And then now it's
been a million years.
And now it's Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six on wrestling. So the Howdy thing has been done a few times now. But this is the first.
I like that they're back, but you can't bring that back that Bray had. You just can't do it. That was different. Looking back at those older videos of him, you can't bring that back. That's something special, man.
Bo's trying, but he's just not Wyndham, man. He's just not Bray. You know,
he needs a mouthpiece.
He's trying. He's just not him. I mean, I appreciate him trying. I respect that. But
no, I respect it. The cinema that they're doing is on par with anything I've seen. It's crazy.
Bray was just special, you know.
Yeah.
He was just a special talent. He was just a special talent.
That magazine with those two on the cover of it, that's a trip.
That's a cool little extra little ad.
Yeah.
It's a nice little ad, yeah. It's the little things that are important. Little things are so much more important than the big things in everything. Relationships, everything. It's the little things that matter the most.
That's right.
I love how Linda Blair got her role here. Freaking fell in love with her right away because she was so straightforward and she was so mature for her age, and he fell in love with her.
It's hard to get that in kids.
Yeah, because she had read the masturbation scene and stuff, and he was wondering, you know about it, and he was like, well, what'd you think about that? Do you know what that is? And she was like, well, sure. And he was like, well, do you know anybody? Do you do that?
Mother-daughter relationship too. That's a certain, there's mother and son, but then there's mother and daughter. That's different. That's a different type of relationship. There's a connection there.
Blair was like, well, sure, I do it. Don't you? and Freakin was like, this 12-year-old was like, well, sure, I do it. Doesn't everybody? Don't you? And Freakin was like, okay.
You got to remember the film Eyes of the Stranger, Jennifer Jason Leigh, she was not old enough to play that part. And they got her just as she turned 18. And my God.
I keep forgetting she was in that. I keep thinking her first thing was Fast Times.
Eyes of the Stranger, she is good in that. That film is so good and so disturbing.
She's an underrated actress. She really is.
Oh no, I really like her. She's been buried alive. I have Rush with her and Sam Elliott. I haven't watched that one yet. I haven't seen Rush in a long time. My parents really love that film.
Speaking of Rush, man, you got Jason Patrick in it, which is Jason Miller's son.
I remember seeing clippets of it. My mom used, whenever your parents start talking about it, it's just like, yeah, they're undercover and they get loaded and have sex and all this stuff and crazy shit happens. And I'm like, yeah.
You knew that, right? You knew that Jason Patrick was the dude that played Karras's son.
That I didn't know.
Yep. Huh. And Joshua Miller from Near Dark and The River's Edge, that's Jason Miller's other son.
Well, I didn't know. Like I say, was it Vic Morrow was Jennifer Jason Leigh's father, right? From the Twilight Zone?
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the one who died. Yeah, that was her dad.
The one who died in the making of the Twilight Zone movie?
Yes.
Wow.
You can look up that. There was a channel that showed clips from that scene. They probably had to delete that. It's pretty bad. For what they showed. I'm like, holy shit.
Him and the two kids got killed, yeah. Something else I didn't know was Jeffrey Lewis.
Helicopter crashed on one of them, killing him interesting. Then the blades killed the other two. Yeah.
You know who Jeffrey Lewis is, right?
Yes.
His daughter is Juliette Lewis.
Yeah, Juliette Lewis. Yeah.
I just found out about a year ago. I was like, wow. Now, see, this part right here.
Julia Roberts' brother, I totally forgot. Her brother was, and I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah.
He was a star before she was.
Eric Roberts. Yeah. I first saw him in a film about fencing. It's like a thriller or something like that, and he was really good in that, but I forget the name of it.
I seen one in like the late 70s,
you know,
with Sissy Spacek in the late 70s called Raggedy Man.
That's right. There's a phone call here.
Now I found what Chris McNeil was doing right there, talking that shit with her just in the next room, saying, "Oh, bullshit." He just doesn't give a shit. I found that to be totally wrong.
Yeah, because he's drunk now.
You know, and saying that to where she was able to hear that shit, and all this is leading up to where that demon is able to take her over. You know what I mean? She's going through a rough thing. Her mom and dad are fucking bickering. Her mom's talking shit about her dad.
I noticed this too. It seemed to be a way with the ladies. They kept the short hairdos here. Like I say, Mia Farrow had it. Like Mia Farrow, Mimsy Farmer had it, and they both.
Audrey Hepburn. Audrey Hepburn did it.
Yeah, Audrey Hepburn did it.
Yeah,
that's right. Something's going on in the attic. That's right. I remember this shit. This is creepy as fuck. Yeah, that's right. She goes up here.
Yeah. That was a big thing in the late 60s, early 70s when women cut their hair short. Because in the late 60s, they grew it as long as they possibly could.
Yeah.
And then, because if you remember correctly, in the mid to late 50s, they cut it kind of short, shoulder length too.
No, they did. Or they bundle it up a certain way, like in the old Hammer films. I love that rope look that they do, and they turn it around like that. That's sexy as hell to me.
Then the 60s, everybody grew their hair as long as they possibly could.
Barbara Steele did it. I mean,
yeah. Then the 80s, they kind of started doing that again, except they didn't let it hang. They poofed it up here as far as they possibly could.
You see Blair there, that character. You see her eyes are open, so she knows what's going on. Like
she's well aware. Yep, she knows. She knows what's making noise.
So something might have happened. Something may have happened here. You don't know when she gets possessed. I'll just say that you have certain points where you think she gets possessed here. That's what I always liked about it.
Well, this is the transition from her being happy about Captain Howdy and him being friendly to him now being scary. Him now being scary. Yep. Now he's being forceful.
Yeah, Insidious is the same way. That's why I love Insidious so much, because you don't know what it is until Lynch tells you what it is, and you're like, "Whoa, wait a minute!" Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't like the second and third Insidious. I like the first three Insidious. Now after that, not so much, but I like the first three.
I thought the second one was okay. I don't like when James Wan does certain things there, certain tropes. He kind of turns it around like,
Right. I thought the third one was unique. The one with the girl that gets hit by the car.
Yes. I like that one.
The man who can't.
I went up to that point. Yeah.
No, when it got to the key and all that bullshit, and this latest one sucked bad, man.
That's pretty cool. It looks like a flamethrower there. You can tell that candle was a special type of candle there for the moment, but yeah.
He says, "Okay, Jesus
no
Christ,
rats, thanks a lot." Yeah, no rats, thanks a lot. That means you're not supposed to be here.
No rats. He was trying to tell her there's no rats, and she said, "Well, get the traps anyway. No rats."
All a Hellraiser. Exorcist has a gothic atmosphere to it too. It's always up there in the attic or the basement. Always up there somewhere,
right,
where you don't go a lot to. That's always liked horror films like that. It's up there. It's like, I don't want to go up there.
That's a trope I never get tired of. I never get tired of the basement and attic tropes. Never.
Oh, hell no. Hide her in the house and all this shit. That's where they're at. Bad Ronald, that's where they're at.
Basements and attics will always be creepy. Always have been, always will be. This is crazy. I remember I seen this as a kid.
Was her eyes are bleeding and something else? Is this the one where it's defaced, isn't it? Yeah.
This one where it's got tits and a dick, yeah.
Right. It got defaced. You don't know who did it.
This guy, can you imagine being this guy? Now he's a priest, he's a total man of God, right? Turns around and sees this on the Virgin Mary or whatever. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Like, who did that? You see, you don't know who did it.
Yeah, it was Reagan that did it.
Right. But you don't know at the
Right.
time. It's like, how could she do it when she was there the whole time?
Yep.
Oh, look at her in those pigtails. Or she's getting
That's
a
what-
sample. Yeah.
That's what's cool, where it doesn't show you everything. We know who did it, but it's where it's cool where it doesn't show you. It's better to imagine.
Yeah, they're checking like her rates and all this other stuff. They have all this stuff hooked up to her.
So yeah, her
See, and
personality.
then you saw it. Then you see it. In this version, you see the face a little bit. And I know they didn't originally put that in there. You see the vision.
Well, you seen one in the original. I think you seen the flash of it once, but way later.
Yeah. Feel this?
Yeah. You feel this? I don't feel anything.
I don't feel anything. You don't
Yeah.
gotta be a bitch about it.
My favorite part of this particular segment here is when she's going, and that nurse is looking at her like, all righty.
96, 97.
Yeah, I'm wondering
I know.
how high that temperature was going to go. I'm just wondering because she doesn't want him to see how high it's going to go. I wonder how.
She's just like at that door.
Here it is. Here it is. Because that nurse is going, what the hell is wrong with this child? You know, she's like,
He's
what
like,
the?
okay.
She's like, okay.
Yeah, she's just, it's probably puberty or something.
What I'm wondering there was the demon active in her when she was going, or was that Reagan?
Yeah, that's why I like
and
films
the
about that. You don't know when it's there. Because
Yeah.
the demons are manipulative. Of course they are.
Or did it take her over once she fell to the floor? Which one was it? I wonder. Because she got a weird look on her face when she fell to the floor.
Yeah, it gives them suggestions to do something else here. That's what you love about doctors. That's what you love about doctors. They'll tell you different things. And it's like, give me a break.
Must be ADHD. Yeah, this is about the time they started doing all that. Everything was ADHD. Now everything is bipolar, right?
That's why Bernstein's my favorite mom in film, really, because she'd act just like my mom would act. My mom would act this way, like, oh, what the hell, dude? It's like, you can't tell me what's wrong with my child?
Yeah. So since they can't come up with an explanation, it must be ADHD.
Autism.
Yeah. ADHD, autism, bipolar. Yeah.
Yeah, bipolar disorder. Yeah.
Everyone has it now. So
it's like what they used to think about serial killers. Their stupid theories, like there's more than what you think. They're like, no, there's not, because you have spree killers, you have all this other stuff too, and then you have the unique ones. It's like, oh,
it's not that easy to diagnose. Yeah, it's a lot more intricate than that.
Antisocial, narcissistic, misogynistic.
Much more definitive than they act like.
Yeah.
Like Charles Starkweather and all them. They weren't serial killers. That's kind of what I tried to explain the difference in the Ranking Evil series. I tried to explain the difference in the shit. And I educated myself.
That's analyzing right there. Yeah.
I still intend on doing that into the future. I've just got some other things I want to do.
The one on Friday the 13th with Pamela Voorhees was great, because there's some shit I did not know about her, that character. That's great. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
That series is a lot of work, man.
In part 6, there's a great special feature on that disc. They talked to the director. There was an extended cut that never happened for the true ending, where they introduce you to Jason's father, where they didn't put it in the film. That's great. I'm like, yeah, he has a dad that's alive.
Yeah, because they'd always led you to believe, and the rumor was that he was dead all that time.
Yeah, where he goes up to the guy who runs the gravesite who narrates it.
Yeah.
He says, "Oh, hello, Mr. Voorhees. Yeah, your son's here," and stuff like that. Then there's a scene, because it's done like a comic book. He turns to the lake. He knows he's there. And you see the look in his eyes. He's like, yeah. Huh.
So I don't think they actually decided whether they wanted him to be alive or dead, so they didn't actually do it in the movie.
Right.
So since they weren't sure,
this place. Yeah, this flippant place. Yeah.
Now this is the same hospital from Exorcist 3, I do believe. Yeah. So see there
he is. There's the piece of shit right there. It says, yeah, we had to put him here.
So see, the demon's actually starting to use them here. Like, see, his uncle talks about right here. His uncle talks about how Damien's mom was talking to the radio.
Because she has Alzheimer's or dementia. Really, that's what it is.
Right, but no. See, because in Exorcist 3, that's what that one woman's doing. She's talking about the dead people talking to her through the radio.
Yeah.
It's the same shit.
Dude, that's the same place. Oh, man.
Because
that's hard as hell to do that. That's terrible.
Because, I mean, think about it. Pazuzu takes Damien's mom.
He sees her.
Talking to the radio.
Laying right there. That'd break my heart.
She's talking to the radio too, man. So you know what I mean? You can connect.
Demi. Why do this to me, Demi?
It's already using the old people.
He's not the priest here either, because I wouldn't come here dressed in my gear. No.
Yeah, I loved how it showed the human in Damien. Usually he would have been soft toward those people, but he was so frustrated and upset that he jerked their arm away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, here it is right here where he's going out talking to him. He's like, going, why could you send her here? Yeah, who's going to take care of her? Yeah, he's a boxer. He's all like letting out the steam and stuff, dude. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
It showed the human side of him. He was so frustrated. He was just like, get your hands off me. You know, when that woman was up there pulling on him and shit, he was like, ugh. Just showed the
party. It's like a Christmas party, isn't it? So.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not sure.
I think maybe it was done would make it worse, which would make it 10 times more dark if it's towards Christmas. That'd be crazy.
Well, towards the beginning of the film, that was Halloween because the kids were going by in their Halloween outfits. So this, this is something.
Doesn't he call this one dude a Nazi? Yeah, this is where he calls one dude a Nazi. Yeah.
This is somewhere around Thanksgiving, I do believe. Because this whole story takes place in around a couple of months.
That's right, it does. Yeah.
Speaking of that, I want to give a shout out to Baron Vaughn from Exorcist Reviews. Does a really good Exorcist channel. He's a friend of mine, and we've done a show before, and he does a really good Exorcist content.
Nice. Yeah, that's where he goes past the dickhead. The guy serving and stuff like that, and he starts talking shit to him, dude. Those are fighting words.
Yeah, he's Jewish, right? So he can't.
Yeah.
He can't stand the German. Yeah.
Product of the Holocaust. Huh.
And you never went bowling with gobbles, I suppose, either. Nazi bastard.
Yeah, that's where his buddy's talking to her because he invited her. He's a good piano player. So, and he starts talking about my friend, his mom got put in that place. Then he says she died. He says he died. She died.
Father William O'Malley, actually a priest.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. They start fighting here and all this other stuff too. He starts choking him.
Yeah, he actually gave him
a Nazi bastard. Yeah. Yeah, what's for dessert?
Gave him the part because he was actually a priest in Quebec. The original Father Dyer that you see in Exorcist 3, that's the first Father Dyer.
Yeah, that's the first Father Dyer. Yeah, It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, that
whole scene. That whole scene is a trip. Jersey Scott is so good in that. He's like, "What happened here?" Well, we explained. Nobody else could have done this. What are you talking about? Yeah, you're saying he drew out his own blood and did that. Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Horrible ending for poor Father Dyer.
Look at this. He's such a slouch.
He's trying to say he's sorry. You know what I mean? He's trying to say, I'm sorry I acted up at your party. But I'm a drunk
here. You don't see it here, but he falls down the steps. He falls down the steps. You don't hear about that till later, but he falls down the steps. I think in one of the cuts in the film they show that, but he falls down the steps, but somebody may have pushed him down the steps.
Well, no, that happens later on when he's at the house watching Reagan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and They Love Me. He starts playing.
Yeah.
Lucky priest, man.
Yeah, they're all just surrounded. Yeah. He's hamming it up, too.
Very Italian Giallo-like, really.
Yeah.
There she is.
Somebody's got a horrible voice in that crowd. Somebody's off key like a mother.
Yeah, you'll die up there. Yeah, and she wets herself. God. Yeah, you'll die up there.
Yeah, she's talking to the astronaut.
Yeah, the astronaut.
From yeah. Man.
It's okay. It's okay. Right in front of them. Not a damn, like, stone cold with that.
She wasn't sure what to say. She's like, she hasn't been feeling very. That's always, with the uppity more people. It's always she hasn't been feeling very well.
Man, she is tiny.
Yeah,
So
she
over that bathtub.
oh she turned 13, I do believe, during the making.
Boy, and doing all this stuff that she does.
Yeah, she actually says the dialogue. Yep, she sure does.
She says the C word. She says all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
You're like, whoa, wait a minute.
sure does. Yep.
You notice it's like, it's okay. You're fine. No problem there.
She's so confused. She doesn't understand. She's just a kid because 12, 13 years old. That's stuff.
Embarrassed about it too. It's like,
that's a baby. Oh yeah, in front of all her mom's friends and shit, all the adults that you want to, you want to impress, not embarrassing yourself in front of.
yeah, the superstitious maid. She comes into play later. That's the thing, because she knows. She finds out about it. Yeah, the bed starts shaking. That's great. They would later use this in Lucio Fulci's The Black Cat, the scene with Mimsy Farmer on the bed, and that wasn't his choice. That was the producer's choice to put that in there.
Yeah.
Because this film was so popular at the time. It's like, let's add this and shit. That's right. It's like a dorm, really, for priest-wise, because they're training to be priests.
Right there on George Street. Yep. Timestamp about 45 minutes. Just in case anybody out there is wondering, we got like 7
that
people.
Regal whiskey, man. It's like, yeah, man, she's left her there. Nothing I could do about it.
Yeah, he's feeling sorry for himself and just, getting drunk. And
Oh, I'd be that way, man. That happened. My mom got that way. Whoa.
He wasn't there. He was feeling guilty that he wasn't there for much anyway. And
Losing faith. He's losing faith. That's the thing. That always happens, right? The devil says it. He'll lose faith. The story of Job. He'll lose faith. I can make him lose his faith.
And she'd been dead in her apartment at least a couple of days when he found her. And wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a trip. They never explained that. They just said he found her there. Means he wasn't there.
Right.
Because there's a bed there for him. He wasn't there. So.
Yep. And she was alone. So, yeah.
She was alone. Damn. Yeah, she died alone.
Anytime you think your parents or something like that, somebody you loved a lot, dying alone like that is a horrible
Yeah,
thing.
that's deep. That's deep stuff. No.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just something you can't help, though,
I had a dream a few months after my father died in our old family home. He was in the backyard, and all these people were around there, like they're showing around the house and all this stuff too. Yeah, I was. Yeah, you see the dog.
Even if it's nothing that you can help, it doesn't. Yeah. It still doesn't help you feel better.
Yeah. Yeah, he's all calling out to her. It's like, Mama, Mom, Demi.
See, you got the flash.
Demi.
Yeah.
Yeah, she goes back down the subway. Yeah. Yeah. The medallion. You see the medallion drop. Yeah.
Yep. The St. Christopher, yeah.
Oh, spit at him.
You fucking bastard.
As he's all doing mass, he's trying to do mass. I remember this because I was an altar server. I remember doing this, with the priests and stuff like that. Yeah.
Was you Catholic?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've done First Communion. I've done all that stuff. I did Knights of Columbus too. My grandmother was Portuguese, so I've done all that stuff. Yeah, I was baptized by the priest, Father Adams. I was an altar server for him. He retired, and of course he passed away. He's buried in the same cemetery as my father is, so I always go and say my respects to him when I'm there. Nice big tombstone for him, so it's pretty cool. He did Spanish mass too because he spoke Spanish, so that was pretty cool. Doing a Spanish mass with him. Did a Catholic wedding with him. That was really neat.
Staring at a doctor's office, smoking a cigarette. You could tell it's the early 70s.
Yeah, yeah, really, yeah. Caused cancer and all this stuff too. Sure, we'll do it here.
Well, this is back when you could smoke inside just about any building, a courthouse building. You know what I mean? As long as you weren't actually in the courtroom, you could smoke out there.
I still saw commercials for that. Probably the Flintstones commercial was still going on for Lucky Strikes.
Yeah, I mean, you had ashtrays put everywhere. Those one ashtrays that had like the sand in them. Yeah.
Oh, my grandparents had those. My grandparents had a crystal ashtray. Those glass ones, those heavy suckers, dude. You can use those as a weapon. Yeah.
One time kill somebody.
My mom's parents, my grandma and grandpa, got into a fight, and she took the ashtray up and flung it at him and missed him. Grandpa would later say she almost killed me. I was like, fuck.
Those fuckers knock your brains out. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the ones they had in the casinos. They have those like that.
Right.
Yeah, they put her through all kinds of treatment and all this other stuff too, and shock treatment and all this shit.
Which is weakening her even more, which is what the demon wants. Weaken her even more so we can take her over. That's all they're doing is just making her weaker and weaker.
That guy when they try to stick Andy into that shock treatment thing, and he reverses it on the doctor and lights him up.
Now, did you hear the story about this? The guy that during this scene here turned out to be a serial killer. The guy with the mustache and beard.
Really?
They found out a little later that he was a serial killer. Yes.
Well, of course, Freakin' would later do Cruising, the Al Pacino, and
But yeah, that guy was a real life serial killer.
I wonder if this is a cursed film. Holy shit!
Oh yeah,
I heard something about that. I didn't know if that was true or not.
Yep. Oh well, it's definitely true. Huh?
To do with the mustache?
The dude with the mustache and beard. The assistant.
The assistant. Oh, right in her neck. That's a booster shot too. That's a big one.
That's only a long goddamn needle for such a little girl in a little vein in a little neck, for Christ's sake. I mean, damn.
What they call them back in the day for headaches, lobotomies? With those huge stakes. Bing, bing, bing.
and all he's trying to do is put it in. And for some reason, that's extra sickening because he's sticking a needle in the same hole so that he can put a tube there so that they can feed dye in so that they can look at her brain. That's all he's doing.
That's crazy. Yeah, just going right up there too.
He's putting a tube in so that they can put dye in there so that they can look at her brain.
Yeah, there goes the blood and all that stuff too.
It's just squirting, yeah. He's like, dude, plug it up, man. It's squirting everywhere.
Matter. Bernstein, you can see the circles underneath her eyes. That's good. They've had that aesthetic, man. See how stressed she is? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's just like sticking there. That's nuts. Everything's dark. You just see the red there. Yee-
Now, none of these procedures right here with the scans hurts or anything, but she's just freaking out. You know what I mean? She's just scared. She's
The noise and
confused.
all that stuff in the brain scan. Yeah, it looks fine. There's nothing wrong.
Yep, just a healthy brain. A healthy brain.
Sounds like a printing press.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Got some time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is what. Yeah, now this is one of the first real breakthroughs for the demon.
When you see it happening, it's like, you got to see this. Something's going on here. After this, everyone starts to move out. The maid, she moves out. She's like, I'm not doing this. No way. Because they know what it is.
Now these two walk in and she's doing a flip back and forth like this.
Is this where she broke her back or something, or was that later on?
This is what hurt her back. Yep. Because
it's whiplash. Look at that.
This when they did a contraption hooked to her back and one of the straps came loose.
There it is.
It caused it to bang against her back.
Oh.
There it comes. You can see it coming through her throat.
The sow is mine.
Knocked the shit out of that motherfucker. He's like going, whoa.
Yeah, she puts his head there. I'm just saying. Stay away from me. So.
He's finally come to again. Knocked the shit out of him. He's like, oh my God, how old did you say she was?
The sow is mine. F me. F me. I was like, no, that's okay.
That's one hell of a backhand from a 12-year-old.
That was close fist, it looked like. She's like,
was a backhand. Bam! Knocked his ass out practically. He was sitting on there.
Like, you all have to give me something off the books here. Okay, we got an idea.
It's like, look, man, I just got a raise. Because I ain't never been hit like that by a kid.
That's what the priests do say that do this. You have to speak in a language that you do not know. They do their research. You do not know. You have to know things that you should not know. It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah, but instead of doing that, she speaks English backwards just to confuse them.
Yeah, just to confuse them. Yeah, that's where they can kind of just like,
just to fuck with them.
Just change, psychological warfare. That's when because they do tests to see if it is actually like whatever like that. Like maybe it's psychological issues, because that happens a lot. Like say bipolar, paranoid schizophrenia. Is a huge issue.
To delay the exorcism.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so they won't do it. Yeah. Because it sounds like a foreign language. When they're talking this shit, it just pisses you off. And they're going, oh, your daughter's bed, it's with her brain. And it's like, dude.
Well, because, I like the argument because they're talking like they're supposed to talk. Like, I'd be thinking the same thing if I'm, like you say, doctor or something like that. I'm like, it has to be something here, trying to think of what could it be.
If you're a doctor and you're suggesting to her right away that she should get an exorcism, then maybe you shouldn't be a doctor, right? Yeah.
This is a trip with that camera thing, just all going around like that and all this shit.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that is, but it's trippy.
Yeah, just a healthy brain, that's right.
He says the X-rays are negative. Normal. And this is what he says, do you keep any drugs in your house?
Well, of course I don't.
It's like, motherfucker, what kind of drug? Come on. If you can't find out shit, so I must be giving her drugs or something.
he wants to help her. He can see it. He's like, okay, I got something. Hopefully.
It's back when they called it grass. That's great.
Yeah, grass.
Hell yeah.
Salem witch trials. It was the flipping plague that was killing people. You know, they didn't want to realize that. Carried by flipping rats and boats.
Yeah. It's just a host of things that's led to cause it. Like, she hasn't been home in a long time. She's moving her around all the time because she's always doing a film.
Yeah, she's an actress. Yeah.
Yeah, on location somewhere. So she hasn't been able to be around her regular friends or keep regular friends.
I just love this because you can see the pain on her face because it's just her. She's alone.
Yeah.
We see all this stuff and you find out what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Chris McNeil slowly goes through this progression of just, she looks worse and worse every time you see her. She looks more tired, more drained.
That's a nice Mercedes.
Those people gathered there, they were gathered around Burke. That was Burke. They were gathered around the bottom of the steps.
You noticed the lights were flickering before she came in there.
Yep.
Yeah, there they go. Yeah, she's starting to freak out. It's like the house is haunted. You know, like yeah.
She can feel it. She can feel something.
Oh, and I just saw it.
Yep.
I just saw it. Really? I didn't see that before. He had put that in on purpose.
Yeah, it's something that they added
It's
in 2000.
right next to her.
Yep. Watching. Yep.
And it's all cold in the room. It's extremely cold in the room.
Like, even colder than outside.
Yes. You see the breath on her face.
Like, she couldn't see her breath that bad when she was outside.
Why is the window open too? Did she open that or did she go out the window?
That's where Burke went.
Yes. Yeah.
Burke said,
yeah.
I always wondered, it never tells. See,
No, they
Burke
never said what happened with that. Probably in the book they say.
Burke was left there to watch her. Now, why did he go up to her room? Did she call for him, Burke? Or why else did he go up there?
Yeah,
I always wondered why he went up there. It makes you wonder. Could be some other sinister shit happening too. Who knows?
He's dead. Yeah. Because I thought he was pushed down the steps originally.
Yeah. Well, he went down the steps. Yeah, that's just what they say because they think he fell from the top of the steps. They don't realize he went out the window.
Yeah, there he is. He happens to be in there. He takes off his hat.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's dead. He broke his neck.
What the fuck was he doing in her room? You know what I mean? He was just there to watch while she went and got the medicine.
The thing is, too, which makes it even worse, was he dead before he was thrown out the window? Like,
yeah. His head was
did she snap his neck, like, before she psychically took him out the window?
Right, because they found him at the bottom of his head turned all the way around. That's why she turns her head all the way around later to mock that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she comes down the steps.
Yep, this is a great scene, man.
That's the scene I didn't see. I hadn't seen that one yet, so this is definitely a different cut because I don't remember it going down there like that. That's nuts. That's pretty good. That's pretty good there. She did a good job with that.
Yeah, that was done by a stunt woman that let me see, I can't remember her fucking name. Shit, let me see. It was done by a stunt woman named Ann Miles. It was originally thought that it was a woman named Sylvia Hagar, but no, it was done by a woman named Ann Miles. Yeah, I always wondered that. What the fuck was he doing up there? He was just left there to stay with her while she went to go get the medicine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the hypnotist. Yeah, you noticed her hands up like that because he's telling her to do that, but that's a trip. They do that late night with the devil, do a hypnotism type of thing. He shows you how it works and stuff like that. That's a trip. Oh, grabbed his you know what. Oh,
Yeah.
she wanted a piece.
A little bit of subtle CGI there. Subtly
So he
used well.
added in there. Yeah, subtly. Doesn't take away from the awesomeness of the film.
No, done good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's jogging and introduces you to the good detective here.
Yeah, our first eyes on William Kinderman. I mean, I like him as Kinderman, but I'm glad that George C. Scott got to play him in Exorcist 3. You know, George C. Scott was nominated for a Razzie for Exorcist 3. Isn't that ridiculous?
He's been nominated for every award imaginable, really.
A Razzie for that. That's fucking just.
Dude, that's pretty disgraceful. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
bad.
what the fuck, man?
I got Hardcore from Kino. I still need to watch that with him in it.
Hardcore is a good one. Yeah, I've got that on. What I had that on? Eureka, maybe?
I know Eureka released it. He was in one called Hospital, which I don't think has a proper release like anywhere.
I don't think I've seen that.
That's like a thriller drama. He plays a house character. Yeah. And people start dying in this hospital that he's working at mysteriously. They don't know what's causing it. Yeah.
No, it's Indicator.
Yeah, that's like how the Kino one looks at. Yeah, nice. I know that he's former Marine, isn't he? Military? I know he's military.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe. I really liked his character in Firestarter also.
Oh yeah, Uncle John.
John Gilligan. Yeah.
Dr. Strangelove, I think it is, or whatever.
Yeah.
The Hustler, all that stuff. Even Christmas Carol, he played good as Ebenezer Scrooge. That's probably the best one.
Oh, yeah. Patton.
Yeah, Patton. Oh yeah. I don't want my soldiers to love me. I want them to fight for me.
Yeah. They called him one take George because they said Exorcist 3 he did
a lot of stuff
on the first take. Man, that's fucking amazing.
Oh, like in The Hustler, I want my money. He ad-libbed that. I want my money. I'm like, oh.
To be able to do shit on the first take, that's incredible. I would love to have seen
him about what happened and stuff like that.
Be interesting to have seen George C. Scott do a film with Stanley Kubrick. One take George doing a film with Kubrick. They like to do 100
something in him. Yeah.
that would have been interesting because, you know,
he wasn't in any westerns, which is a shame. He'd be probably pretty good in those.
I hadn't really thought about that, but yeah.
He was a good stage play person too. I watched the YouTube video on him, like his career. Yeah, he had a good career.
Nice little subtle threat he just gave right there.
Yeah.
I mentioned only in passing.
It's basically only in passing. Good faith. Father, wait a minute. I'm just kidding. You know.
Yeah, that just changed it. because when it comes to religion, you can't put him in jail when it's confession. $15 years later, he's still going to the movies by himself or with a friend. His wife's still not going with him.
Yeah. We talk about The Exorcist 3 because we love it so much. I mean, the conversation about the carp that's in the bathtub, I think. That's
Yeah.
when he explains about just the simplest conversation. Like, really?
Swimming back and forth, moving its gills.
It's a bonefish. It's uneatable. It's a bonefish. It's a sucker fish. That's what my father used to call them. They're sucker fishes.
And I hate it. I can't see right of it.
Lied, yeah.
You look like so many of them. He does.
Yeah, looking at the video, they're all studying her and all this shit too. Just don't know what to do.
She's become feral.
Yeah, all her lips are all chipped up and shit.
I love their choices for the makeup. Because the makeup they decided to use is something she had done to herself with her fingernail.
Yeesh.
Because they went through a lot of different makeups where she looked kind of witchy and kind of
spirit,
evil.
if you will. That's when the doctor mentions something, which they're not technically supposed to talk about, but they have no choice here.
They've been through everything.
Yeah.
They don't know what the fuck, man.
Yeah, 88 doctors, and you don't know what's wrong with her.
Jesus Christ,
Like there is another option. Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah. Are you a religious woman? It's bad when you got a group full of doctors that are
Don't know what's wrong.
Hopeless that they are now going to recommend an exorcism. They are optioned out.
Yeah.
And they feel bad about it.
They feel terrible about it. Yeah, it's like not.
Well, she's coming off like, and what a great performance of Linda Blair sitting there. What she was doing in that bed was incredible. It was scary.
Yeah, stylized ritual. Yeah, when he talks about rabbis and priests and stuff like that too, it's not just them.
Yeah. Well, shit. Up until this movie, most people had never even heard of an exorcism.
They didn't. Yeah, because this goes way back. The church literally does want you to forget about those. They do not want. Yeah, they don't want this stuff coming to light.
Yeah, because it can do more harm than good.
Oh yeah, no. A lot of tragedies happen because of that. A lot of bad, you can say, ceremonies happen. A lot of deaths.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it can be easy to lean toward it as a quick, easy fix, or you can be like, well, let's do it, when it's not necessary, and you can kill somebody.
They're insane. You put them in an insane asylum.
Yeah, because anytime you're dealing with the mind or some kind of behavioral thing like this, if you give the wrong treatment, you can kill somebody, or you can fuck them up for life.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all bringing her back home and all this other stuff too. They have her like in a blanket and shit.
Thoughts on the prequels, The Beginning and Dominion. Wow, that's Ninja. The Dominion was absolutely horrible.
I didn't. I saw The Beginning in the theaters. I thought it was okay at the time.
The Beginning had a couple different.
I forgot who played. I forgot who played Father Marin. He's a good actor. He's done other stuff before, but no, it's been years.
That was Peter Skarsgård.
I did not know that. Is that the dad?
Yep.
Wow.
He played Marin in both of them, actually.
Yeah, Dominion. I thought was like a just same film. I thought, but I never seen it.
No, they ended up they come up with Dominion first, and then they didn't like how it went, so they ended up completely remaking it with the same dude playing Marin.
Okay, yeah, The Beginning. Okay.
And neither one of them worked.
Yeah. It was a bad time for kind of stuff like that. They tried with stuff like that. It just didn't,
Well, the beginning was better than Dominion. It's not saying much, but it was better. But it was better than Dominion.
13 dark horror. They tried to do it. I remember, like I said, that's 90s horror, so I haven't seen it forever. Yeah, that's when the detective is walking up the stairs. He's seeing how tired he is and all this other stuff walking up here, but it looks like he's analyzing it too. It's like, well, so yeah, and he looks at the window. So he's like, okay, so he fell out the window, then he went down completely down the stairs.
Yeah, so that means he couldn't have just fell out. He
had flown out. Yeah.
He had to travel some yards. What?
Yeah.
What?
Hello.
Yeah. Like, oh, great. Now I'm getting visited by a fucking cop. He's nervous as fuck.
Yeah, I have the beginning on DVD, Ninja. I've had that one for a while. I remember that one at Big Lots back in the day. Now I no longer have Big Lots.
I have it too. It's not bad for a watch, for a one watch, It has its positive points.
The Last Exorcism is better. Let's just say that.
The Last Exorcism. I love The Last Exorcism.
Great found footage film.
Oh yeah, I love it. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
I think it's so good. That dude that plays the Exorcist, the preacher I love him.
Oh yeah, he was in comedy, and then he played him.
He was great in Better Call Saul too.
Yeah, the actress that played the possessed chick can actually do those moves. She showed him how. Is this okay? Oh yeah, that's great. Let's do that.
Yeah, everybody in it's good, man. The dude that plays her brother is the dude from Antivirus. And
I have Antivirus. I still need to watch that. That's Brandon Cronenberg.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of his, man.
Oh, Infinity Pool is great.
That's the only one of his that I like.
Oh,
I'm not big on Possessor or Antivirus for some reason.
Infinity Pool is like that's Kubrick and Lynch that's
Yeah, I do like Infinity Pool, but I don't like the other ones. Okay. The other two of these that I've seen, I don't know why.
If the film sticks with me, then there's that's an issue and a good thing at the same time. Because if it sticks with me, then it's good. It hit the spot. That's what Mandy does. That's what other stuff does.
To me, those two films lose it in the second half. The first half I like, the second half I don't.
They kind of do, yeah.
Just those two, And then he says he's trying to wear it for the sake of it. I mean, I'm not sure what it is about him.
Infinity Pool is his most like his dad film. It's very like his father to do Infinity Pool. There's a lot of David Cronenberg in that film, a lot.
Mia Goth makes Infinity Pool.
Oh God, of course she does. Oh my God, the Calm to Hell down scale goes up to flipping 8 with her. God.
Well, the first part of the movie you love her because she's adventurous and she's
as soon as she goes up to the flipping synth, that's Alexander Skarsgård. Boy, he plays a weak man pretty good for his size. And she just pleasures him in front of the train. Like, whoa, wait a minute.
But the last few minutes of it, you hate her. She's such a bitch.
Yeah, she's a bitch. She plays a good bitch.
God, she's so hot to begin with. In the last 15, 20 minutes, you're like, ugh.
Oh, that ending scene is a trip.
Jesus, man. Yeah, she makes it. She really does. He's come off as just this fan. You know what I mean? He's being so friendly the whole time. He's investigating.
Gets an autograph or whatever like that. Can I get an autograph real quick?
I love this part because she's trying to be polite.
She's an actress playing an actress.
Yeah. And she's like, would you like another cup of coffee? And he's like, oh, well, sure, thank you. And she's like, she's thinking, fuck. because she was hoping he'd be like, oh no, I
He's
gotta
trying
get
to
back
help
home.
her too and stuff like that. You can tell he feels for her because he knows something's wrong.
Yeah,
Because he looks up at that window as soon before he goes into the house. He's like,
yeah. But when he comes back later at the end after the exorcism, he's coming there to arrest her. He's coming there to arrest Reagan.
But then you find out, of course, the ending for that, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. That's something that I found out from the Exorcist Reviews guy. He's coming there to arrest that kid for suspicion of murder.
That's cool that there's channels like that. I like when they do deep dives because they're huge fans. When you're a fan of the film, I love that when you can do deep dives. Like,
I've never seen anyone know so much about The Exorcist. He makes me look like I know nothing.
It's like me and Event Horizon. There's a cut that was supposedly destroyed of that film, the director's cut. It has to be somewhere. I want to know because I've seen the extended, like the other rescue scenes, the alternate ending type of stuff. I'm like, oh, they could have done a lot more with this film. There had to have been more. That's why I love it so much.
That's another one that found a second life the longer it was around.
I'm not going to do that, but it's up there as my number one horror film of all time. I love it a lot. It's the only film I'm scared to watch. Only film that scares the bejesus out of me because I remember watching it on VHS. My best friend got it, and I had a major headache that day. And I'm watching this. I'm like, oh, this is great. That's before I knew about Lovecraft and all this other stuff too. So
I haven't seen it in years. I need to see it again.
Oh, with the cross. Oh, that's terrible. Fuck you. Oh, God. Oh, that's great, Jason. Yeah, I'd love to see that in the theater. It came out of like 97.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a movie where it hits a point, man, and you're like, whoa, it completely changes. It's like, wow.
It's great for being great's sake. Like I say, it's like, oh yeah, she
It's
turned
like
the head there.
Here's
dead, your goddamn daughter.
And she's using Burke's voice when she said that.
Burke's voice, yeah, too. She like used his voice. He's dead.
She just mocked the fact
that they meet on the bridge. Yeah.
Yep, she mocked the fact she twisted his head around. So she knows right now for a fact, because she knew the detective was down there questioning her.
Yeah.
So she just let her know.
She's all messed up. Yeah, she's all messed up. Like she's been to a fight. Yeah.
She said, "Yep, I killed him."
In Event Horizon, there's a scene where Larry Fishburne is talking about his friend. Like it's almost like the scene from Jaws, where I'll never put on a life jacket again. And he's like, "Have you ever seen fire in space? It's beautiful, which you can't have. There's no such thing." But he says it's liquefied, and he says, "I watched my friend get burned and just splotted with these splots of fire and watched them die." He's like, "I promised myself that I'd never let that happen to one of my crewmates again," and stuff like that. I'm like, damn. That's when the dude said, "I realized what they were saying in Latin. It's not what I said. It's not what they said." And I'm like, oh. So.
Yeah. It's got a good cast.
He gets the visions from Sam Neill that looks like Pinhead from Hellraiser. And that's before I watched Hellraiser. He's like, "No, they're not dead. They're not dead." I was like, uh-oh. That freaks me out. It's like, yeah, but that's a good film.
Yeah,
it's recently got the 4K steelbook that they re-released. That's a beautiful steelbook.
I have it on. I have the. I think the Scream Factory.
I have that one too.
I think, but I haven't watched it yet. I haven't seen it since I was a teenager, so it's been a long time.
Me neither. So that'll probably be a future watch along.
I need to check it out because I kind of remember it. I remember
Sam Neill is great. That's the first time I saw him in a horror film. Like I remember him from Jurassic Park and all this stuff, and then he did that. I'm like, whoa, what's this? It's like it's my ship.
first thing I seen him in was as a kid. I seen him in Damien Yeoman 3: The Final Conflict.
Oh yeah, the Final Conflict. Yeah, and he's a senator.
Yeah. Then I seen Dead Calm.
I have one of his earlier films that Arrow released. It's an Australian film. Something dogs, not rabbit dogs. Something. Of course, Possession. I mean.
Yes.
I mean.
There's only one. Yeah. That is such a good show. I did a watch along and commentary of that with Sean, and that is one of my very best live commentaries I've ever done. I outdid myself. I'm so
JT really likes it too. He says it's top tier horror. I tend to agree. You like it or you don't, but I really like it.
I'm so proud of the job that I did on that.
Yeah.
That is one of the best jobs I ever did on a live commentary. Even if it was with Sean, you know. But we did a great job.
It's funny they're all talking here. It says doesn't need a psychiatrist. She's seen a psychiatrist before, you know. She's seen all these people before. I love this scene right here. She's really close to him right here. She doesn't know what to do. He's like, okay. Yeah.
When she got she changed. Now Blatty he had it down in his book. When she's convincing him to come and see her, you know, she says, because I know somebody that probably needs an exorcism. Now, Blatty had it down to where after that she said, it's my daughter. She changed it to Father Karras, it's my little girl. She changed it to that, and it's so much more effective being said that way. Blatty came to her and told her that she said
because he's not in this priest here right here. He's just checking it out. You see like the butler there or whatever, you know?
Yeah. She changed it from my daughter to Father Karras, it's my little girl. And he said that was better than the way he had it written.
I don't know if she starts talking like his mother here. I know later she does. Like, you're not my mother.
Yeah. She seems to be kind of subdued, just sitting there going.
In a padded bed.
You might lose some of the straps. Yeah. I'm not ready. Yeah. Slowly losing his patience here. Yeah.
Yeah, it says I'm the devil.
Yeah. I asked you to undo the straps, motherfucker. Nicely. In here.
Some quick trivia here. When she regurgitates all that green shit, it was supposed to hit Jason Miller in the chest, not in the face.
He was
not where it originally did. Yeah, plastic tubing misfired.
He was pissed.
Makes it better.
He was fucking pissed, yeah.
Miller admitted in interviews that he was very angered by this mistake. Yeah. Quotes, "Demon, your mother sucks cock in hell, you faithless slime." Yeah.
Yeah, that fucked up Max Boncito.
Yeah, that's where they just did it. Yeah. Instead of the chest, it got up in the
Yeah, because you got to think Max Boncito didn't hear, the demon voice saying it.
He's looking at all the pictures. Yeah, that's cool. Looking at all the pictures.
Max Boncito heard Linda Blair go, your mother sucks cocks in hell. You know what I mean?
There it is. There's the dog with the wings. Yeah.
Max Boncito turned around and said, "Cut."
I can see him doing that. Cut.
He said, Billy, I need a break.
I need a break. That's great.
Because he's had a 12-year-old go, your mother sucks cocks in hell. And, Max Boncito
and everything for him, man. That's great. Thank you.
He's this proper British gentleman, Max Boncito. He has this 12-year-old girl. He's talking about cocks.
Proper.
And he was like, "Oh my God, I got to get out of here. I need some coffee, some tea."
He was in Dreamscape too, which is very good film with Dennis
Yeah.
Quaid.
Yeah.
Thought you were supposed to be an expert.
It's not like you look it up in the yellow pages. It's under exorcism. Professional exorcist.
Your daughter doesn't say she's a demon. She says she's the devil. He says the devil himself.
Which is ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah, which is false. Yeah. The devil, tell you the truth, the devil doesn't play games. I mean, really doesn't.
I mean, look on his face. He just, you can tell he's disturbed. He's just like, man, I don't know what the hell I just seen, but it was fucked up.
Everything comes back to roost. He saw the pictures of the dog with the wings, like fly wings on it, you know?
If I walked in there and seen that and had that conversation, I probably still wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
I don't know how they can live there in that house. She, you know,
it's
her
like
and,
it's haunted a bit. Yeah. Makes it even worse.
Because her and Sharon and shit still live there. They sleep there.
Yeah.
With that.
You don't know what's going to happen.
Could you sleep there? I mean,
no.
I mean, if that was my child, that'd be one thing. But Sharon, I don't know how Sharon.
What's even worse is it's a 2-story place, so you have to go upstairs. Really want to go upstairs?
It's like, yeah, she's strapped down, and one of my favorite parts of this film is when, like, it's going to happen here in just a couple of minutes. Now you've seen her strapped down, right?
Yeah.
Now it shows Kinderman watching, and you can see where the only one that's in that room is Reagan, and you can see her going across the window. So she's up, moving around, and she's not walking; she's gliding across the window. Watch this.
Rip.
This is excellent. This is fantastic because he looks up at the window like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah, and he's just like, wait a minute. Yeah, it shows him from the rear view mirror.
And she's gliding. You can tell she's not walking. She's gliding.
She's like a shadow of something.
Yep. And you can tell that's not a walking shadow.
No.
So she's not strapped down. She,
it may be her, like you say, maybe the demon. Like I say, they walk in shadows, man.
That's actually her. She just made the shit come undone, and she's wandering around now. Anytime she wants.
That's right. He's listening to the recordings. He's listening to the recordings right now. That's got to be a trip.
Anytime she wants, she could come unstrapped. That's fucking terrifying.
He's trying to decipher if it is a demon or not because you'll notice the change in voice and shit like that. And he's like,
yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, he ends up taking it to a specialist. This in speech and.
You can't do it. You can't break the bread either. Break this our daily bread, communion.
Yeah.
This is my body to be given up for you. Damn.
You remember who the speech therapist was, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
The person.
Yeah.
The person who figures out that she's speaking backwards. Yeah.
Yeah. In tongues, basically, that's what that is. They say it's like a language. You're kind of talking backwards.
Oh,
reverse Latin.
That's what that means. Okay.
Yeah, to me it does. Tongues is interesting. That's a Christian thing. Like what Robert De Niro says in Cape Fear. By the time I'm done with you, I'll have you talking in tongues and shit.
That's one movie I do not have. I have the original one, but I don't have the remake. I need to get that.
Well, that's right. She's all like pale and stuff. Oh, little Father Karras. She's all smiling at him.
She's having a good time. So what a wonderful day for an exorcism. Hey, do that.
Do it again. No, I don't want to.
In time.
In time.
She kind of leans her head forward a little bit. In time.
There she goes. Eh.
he speaks Latin, so she
So
speaks
she
French.
lies stinking in here. What's that? Holy water. Which we know it's not. I think he says it wasn't.
No, it's tap water. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tap water.
Well.
Hi, man. How are you?
Hello, May. How you doing?
She posted. That's a good Jason mask right there. That's an old school hardcore one. I guess you know with the dent in it from the axe he took to the head in part 3. That was a good picture. But the way she looks and how pale she is, like say great makeup, and all that stuff too. Like you would think it's something different, but he doesn't know what to think.
Well, yeah, that's what I love about the choice they made. Like I said, they had to choose between whether she was witchy or demonic looking, and they chose to where the makeup would be where she had inflicted the wounds herself, clawed at her face with her nails. That's why she's strapped down, so she couldn't injure herself anymore.
Yeah, he's thinking about talking to her, but he sees her on the phone, man, and her eyes are all glazed up and stuff like that. She looks terrible. I feel sorry for her.
Chris, as it goes, she progresses looking terrible, just like Reagan does. Like every time you see her,
there's no sleep. She's not sleeping or any of this stuff. She's worried about her daughter.
Well, not only that, but like I said, could you sleep in that house?
Fuck.
Not only the worry, but
Yeah, this is when he talks to her. He says, "Well, I don't know what to do here."
Yeah.
Yep, there she gets out the liquor. Yeah, I'm going to need something here. Like I say, thank you all for checking this out. Yeah, just all-timer here, just doing a watch-along of one of the greatest horrors, if not the greatest horror film ever made. Could be the best ever. It could be the best ever. Could be the best ever.
It's funny. Well, at least one of the greatest. It wasn't even really by the creators. Wasn't even intended to be a horror film.
That's what I mean. It's what you think could happen, then it does happen. It's it's nuts.
Yeah.
Like Silence of the Lambs, I don't think anybody knew that film would do as good as it did. I mean,
yeah, I started watching that the other night for the first time in a long time. I got halfway through it, and my fiance passed out, so I stopped it so we could finish it together.
Yeah, I really like Hannibal too. That's directed by Ridley Scott. That's a
yeah.
Gary Oldman's in that one.
Yeah. Gary Oldman's he's like one of the great character actors. Dude could, play anything.
Yeah, he starts hearing her again.
Yes, I totally agree, mate. It is the one film that still scares me. I see, like I said, 78, 79 when I was 5 or 6, and it still scares the shit right out of me.
It was way ahead of its time. Like 73.
It scares me. I don't scare. I've seen everything, been there, done that, but still, that makeup on her face and everything just still fucks me up inside and out.
Say me too. I've always been a fan of horror. I've always been a fan of this film, but as of late, doing this YouTube thing for almost 2 years, like getting into like the more extreme stuff of horror, like the grindhouse stuff, like I Drink Your Blood, and we can go past that.
Yeah.
Like you can go past that with Maniac and stuff like that. Stuff that can terrify you is insane. Yeah, he gets a phone call.
Yeah. What made him actually look that way at the phone was Friedkin shot off a blank and a shotgun right over by his head.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, yeah, that's right, because there's no sound technically there. Yeah.
Yep. That's what caused him to go. Yep.
Well, that's when the babysitter or the other, one of her friends gets him.
Yep. It just, and also you got to think, a lot of people that seen it these days.
Yeah, it just gets colder and colder in the room too. You notice that? Like you need.
A lot of the younger people have seen it nowadays, so a lot of the younger people don't find it as scary because they've just been desensitized to it. But in 78, 79, when I seen it, I was 5 or 6 years old. And imagine being 5 or 6 years old in 78, 79 when I seen it. I was fucking, oh my God, man. I still remember the exact moment when I seen this at 5, 6 years old. You don't retain many memories from that age, but I retained that one.
To May's point, I like the point of him trying. Flanagan won't do that for a while. I think he's waiting till a lot of stuff dies down a bit till he even decides to touch that.
I think Mike Flanagan making the new Exorcist film is a great idea.
I do too. Well, he's done good with everything he's done. Of course, Dr. Sleep, The Haunting of Hill House, he did that on Netflix. He also did Midnight Mass on Netflix, which I heard is really good. I've seen some of that.
Well, what makes it great is
which finally got a physical release, and he championed that.
He's not going to do the same old. You're not going to get a typical Exorcist movie.
No,
he always does shit outside the bun, so to speak.
Yeah,
he's going to give you something different. What you're going to get is what
He'll
you
probably
got.
put his wife in it, which will be cool because she's a good actress.
You're going to get another Exorcist 3. Just like Exorcist 3 was a lot different than the original Exorcist, you're going to get something like that in comparison. You're going to get something completely different, and that's what they need.
Yeah. It's like with Dr. Sleep. That was different from The Shining. I mean, it's an unofficial sequel. Of course it is, because it's based off the book by Stephen King, but oh yeah, that's all the priests are talking here. But the higher ups here are, having a discussion about this, of what they should do about it.
Yeah, so they said the oldest, most unhealthy, poor old guy to go do this and fight with the fucking this Pazuzu that spins its head around and shit. The poor old guy.
I've seen him before. Yeah, the way they're describing it, it's like Marin's the only one that can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, but he fought before when he was like 40. He's like 85 now.
Yeah. I think he's like the only exorcist they have. Really, that's an official one. Yeah, there he is, like out there just walking.
Because they don't want to send Damien, They don't want to send Damien because they don't trust Damien at all. Like Damien's not even sure if he believes in God anymore. They definitely don't want to send him.
He doesn't even look at it. He doesn't even look at the letter. He knows exactly what it is. That's what's haunting about it.
That's why he's been staying there in the States. That's why he's at Woodstock, because he knows if it's going to be here somewhere. So he's been staying here. That's why he hasn't been doing any archaeology. Because he just knew.
And they show that shot of her with those eyes. Like, yes, I know. She knows he's there. Oh, this is so good.
The old man.
So good.
Because no one can match his faith, and that's what scares the demon.
The way they did this with the smoke and all this stuff that leads right from that window. It leads right from that window, and he knows it.
Yeah, that's from a painting called oh shit.
That's so good. Yeah, the demon just knows it. The demon knows it.
Where is that damn? I wrote it down. Friedkin was inspired by a painting called Empire of Light by Rene Margaritas, and that's what that scene is from. It is from that painting.
He all looks up and hears her, and he's like, "Okay, so tell me the situation now. Just tell me the situation here." Yes, he did do. I forgot he did do Oculus. I love Oculus. Oculus is great. That's a killer mirror. And yeah, the Origin of Evil, Ouija is 10 times better than the first film.
Copy of the Roman Ritual, the old one, yeah. I believe we should begin.
Yeah,
he said, let's get some background on the case. Why?
You'll see the pill thing later. Of course, that's what happens then happens for a reason.
what a loyal friend. Obviously, Sharon loves Reagan to death, man. Or
she wouldn't have stayed there. Yeah,
because she's not family. You know what I mean?
And he's sitting there praying with the rosary and all this other stuff, dude. Sitting there, yeah, that's old school. That's old school Catholic right there. The rosary, yeah, that's like.
She definitely didn't stay for her job. It'd be like fuck this job. The devil's upstairs. You know, she must really love her. You know, talk about loyalty.
You notice that as soon as Father Merrin walked in, he heard it, and he's like, "Okay, tell me the situation." It's not like I don't know what's going on, but I want to know what I might be getting into.
See, Chris is getting a bit of comfort from the old man here. You know what I mean? She feels the faith in him. You know what I mean?
Sindale's not that old here either. He plays the part so well. You know, he just like.
Yeah, he's only about 40 or so here, I think, something like that. His acting and the makeup, man, Dick Smith's makeup.
Yep. Puts the glasses on. Puts the white sheets on.
Because remember how old he made Dustin Hoffman look in Little Big Man? Marlon Brando, the Godfather.
Oh yeah, the Godfather. Yeah.
He aged Vito Corleone quite effectively too.
I didn't want this for you, Michael. I didn't want this for you.
I want this for you, Michael.
Joe Spinell was in The Godfather.
Hell yeah, he was.
Part 2 during the trials. Yep. That's him talking.
Yeah, he was.
Him and Stallone were very good friends.
What was his name?
He played his bouncer boss or whatever it was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was Mr. Gazzo.
Yeah, Mr. Gazzo. That's one thing I plan on getting from Severin, the last horror show. I plan on getting that. They just reissued that with a new slip for that.
He was Chi-Chi in Godfather. Chi-Chi.
Yeah, Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi.
Oh, here we go. Hello, Father. She knows. Yeah, he closes the door on her. He's like, yeah, you're not.
Yeah. You don't need to see this, okay? This might get ugly.
Put the cross right there. Crosses all over the place.
We don't want you to see this if your daughter kills us.
There's the holy water.
And she might just...
That's so mean.
Well,
be silent.
Stick your cock up her ass, you motherfucking worthless cocksucker. Oh. That's just horrible. It's like, oh my God.
Oh, just spits in his face.
Goes straight from this to
because he's reading it and stuff like that too, and he knows it by heart.
He didn't even sell it either.
No, he did not.
He's just like, whatever.
He's like, I've seen this before.
He didn't even sell it. He just wiped it off. Didn't even stall.
Oh, yeah, the Golden Girls. You're right, Jason. Yeah, the Golden Girls. Betty White. Betty White was always pretty.
The whole time, Karis at the bottom of the bed going.
He's like, I don't know if I want to be here or not. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, man. I see
those are red pages too, by the way.
Where
what was that? Yeah.
Betty White's house got tore down. I seen just recently, and this house looked like Betty White's house too, man. It had a bright yellow door. It looked just like a Betty White house, and they tore it down, man.
It's funny, they'll tear that down, yet they won't tear down the Amityville house. They won't take down the Home Alone house. It just got sold or is up for sale.
She died in that house, man. It was still a nice house. They tore it fucking. It's like people bought the property and tore the house down. I was bummed by that.
It's like a film I just watched, The Horrible Dr. Hitchcock. That was an actual place they went to, a Gothic-like mansion that had a graveyard. That had a graveyard in the back of it. And it became an embassy. So it's like Boy, Frida's a lucky bastard. He got lucky with those locations. That was in Italy somewhere.
Man, I see where Grim Life went to the actual Dracula's actual castle, man, and there's still parts of it still standing.
Yes.
It went to the octagon-shaped room and everything.
Watch the channel, Booktuber channel. He took a trip to where Stoker came from, his actual like house or like where he was born at and stuff like that. Yeah.
Those are cool, man. Like I say, every other country has these gothic and cool ass old places. Italy and all these places, except us. We don't have any places like that anymore. We keep turning them down.
You seem to be fascinated by horror, though. Like I say, the Amityville house is still up, and people own that and living in that. Like the
See, look, Kara's she's still doing a tongue, but for some reason that just tore Kara's up, man. He was like, "Oh my god, how much does that take?" Hey, Nikki. Both have a great night. Have a good stream. Thank you very much.
well, thank you. Thank you for stopping in, saying hi. Just watching a great horror film. Great way to start off spooky season. Fall is officially today. I'd like to wish a late happy birthday to my late father. He would have been in his 80s. But yeah, he loved films like this. He liked the action films. He really liked Chuck Norris and Charles Bronson. I mean, he really liked Charles Bronson. My mom had a crush on Clint Eastwood. I mean, I can see why. That dude was was the man.
So did yeah. I mean, if I was a woman, or if I was gay, I would have liked Clint.
Yeah.
About the play Misty for me time, yeah.
That one chick is great in Play Misty for me. Shit.
Oh, yeah.
I cast you out. Cast you out, yeah, and the whole place starts to crack and shit like that.
The old man his patience is running. He's had enough of it.
F you, Karis. F you, Karis.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Thanks, man. You take care, sweetheart. I wonder if Freaking got this from because Repulsion was done before this, and there's scenes in her apartment where the stuff starts to crack and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Which is all in her mind.
Right.
Oh yeah, the whole place starts shaking. Yeah, and he lands on his ass. He's like, "Wait a minute, you stop doing that."
Yeah.
Bastard.
Nothing stops Marin though, man. He falls down. He still didn't stop doing this shit. Nothing stops him from doing exorcism, man.
Calls him a bastard, which means a fatherless child. That's what that means. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Oh, and so he starts floating and stuff like that. That's done so well.
Yeah. Because even with the original 73 cut, you still couldn't see those wires.
Can't see the wires.
The way they did that is they took fish line and they colored it white and black. They colored it white and black. They took turns white, black, and with the light you couldn't see it.
Compels you. God, they say it like 6 times. There it goes, man. It's you. It takes the life out of you, literally. It takes years off of your career.
Oh, yeah. Like, actually, Marin's only like 45 here, but that first exorcism,
My age. My age. I'm 45. He has more hair than I do.
Well, I mean, look how old he looks just from the first exorcism.
Yeah,
no.
Really. Yeah, no, he's aged. Yeah.
Hell, he's aged just since he's been there tonight.
Right. That's good. That works. Oh, it just smacks him right in the back. Little
See,
bit. He's a little
really,
bitch, man.
it really doesn't feel threatened because it knows Marin's old and Karis is having faith issues.
Yeah. Oh, he smacked his head up against that. I think that did it. Yeah, that's where he sees it. That's where he sees that. Yeah, dude.
Yep.
That looks great in blue. I know in the 4K they changed it to green. I think there's a green tint to it instead.
You watch it on 4K?
No, I'm watching on this. I haven't watched the 4K yet. I will eventually. Like I said, I've seen this film like more than a dozen. The problem is with the 4K, and it's Warner Brothers. Like it's just I think the extended cuts. One of the cuts of the film, rest is digital, so it's a digital code for that. That's that's kind of what a turnoff is. That's why you have that version right there because that has all the cuts on it. The Bible one that has all the cuts on it. There's like 3 different ones. So
yeah.
That'd be a trip to watch one like each night to see the difference. You're like, okay, I can see this and stuff like that. What's going on, Nikki? I'm sorry, I just saw you. Hope you're having a good night. Oh, she works graveyard then, I guess. How about that? Yeah, you take care, Nikki. Thanks for dropping in and saying hi. Great lady.
Yeah. Okay, he's even worn out, and he's only like in his 30s, and he just looks like
he's like, this ain't easy. Yeah, that's where he's just sitting up on the stairs. Yeah, give herself a breather. Doesn't make sense.
This is a scene that wasn't in the 73 cut. It's a scene that Friedkin didn't want to put back in it.
Yeah.
But Blatty did, so he did that for him.
Mirren knows his time is up. I think he knows his time is up here. He has to know. He's like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. I think this may be my last shot.
Yeah.
He kind of does an Optimus Prime here, right? Until all are one type of thing. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to stop her. Yeah, he goes to the bathroom. This is where he goes to the bathroom. He takes out his pills, whatever those are.
Nitroglycerin.
Yeah.
Yep. The little pills he sticks underneath. Yeah, he sticks underneath his tongue.
He's in bad shape right there. He's in bad
Which
shape.
right there tells you how bad his heart is.
Yeah. Yeah, he's shaking.
Oh, yeah, he's got bad heart.
Makeup is good. You see how pale he is, and you see him just like, shit.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is great. Yeah, I see his mom. That's messed up.
So he's actively having in the beginning of a heart attack, I do believe.
Yes.
Because that's what those are for. Is basically if you feel the start of that, take one and it holds it all. So.
Yeah, blood clots and all that shit. It can be bad.
Take advantage of Karis coming in by himself. Why, Demi? Why?
Yeah, you see her just that scene of her just sitting there, like upright and stuff, looking at him. I'm like,
yep.
Oh, there it is. There's the money shot. Demi. You're not my mother.
I'm afraid.
You're not my mother. Yeah, he's checking her heart. Yeah, he doesn't feel a heartbeat. He doesn't feel it. Yep.
He's very weak. Yeah.
Yep.
He's killing her.
He's a doctor. He knows. Can you give her something? It's cold in the room. He's taking the pills for his heart. That does not help. You're not my mother. Damien, don't do it. Don't do it.
Just empowering that demon falling for it.
Yeah, dude, he's losing faith. He told him to leave. He just told him to leave. Leave the room. That did it.
Yeah. Can't have you in here, man. You're counterproductive.
He knows it. He knows it. He's like, I'm sorry. It's okay. Those are old school robes right there. Those purple ones right there. Those are Caesar colors. Royal. Holy Roman colors, basically. Here we go. It's all quiet right now. Then,
Mm-hmm.
brings out the cross again. Yep.
Ballsy little dude. He's fucking. I'm just gonna go at it by myself. Even though he just took a nitroglycerin to keep him around with a heart attack.
Well, I think he knew. He's like, I can't. Yeah, I think he knows it's coming. Sindow's that type of actor too. He can play that part where it's like
he's gonna give his life to try to
last fights. Yeah.
Because he knows if they don't try, they're gonna lose her anyway.
Really, you're supposed to say the name. Say, what's your name? Tell me your name. As soon as you do that, you kind of know.
You're gonna do a prayer real quick, and then go for it. Unfortunately, this is
Or in heaven. Yep, that did it. He'll go in the room in a second. He'll know.
But this is what empowers Damien when she comes in there and she's like, is she gonna die? And he's like, fuck, man. She loses faith in us.
It's a good relationship between the two of them.
Yeah. Is it over? No.
It's like, I can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, he does look defeated. Very defeated. That's why she asked, is she gonna die?
No.
He's like, no. See, his whole look changed.
He knows what he has to do. That's when he'll see it. He'll see it.
This is when his faith comes back. You better get some, motherfucker, because...
Yeah, the phone call. Isn't that a trip?
Yeah, this is the doorbell. Yeah, this is the detective. This is the detective coming to... I come to find out, which I never knew. This is the detective coming to arrest him.
Look on his face, too. Yeah, that's when he sees him. He's dead. He's dead.
He's come to arrest her for suspicion. I was like, damn, really?
He couldn't do it. Oh, yeah, he tries to bring him back, and she's just sitting there.
With just a blank look, man. Like,
dude.
Like, wow, that was...
he's dead. He did.
And then that nasty fucking laugh.
Like a child.
Like, just, sinister as hell.
Oh, starts punching her. Take me. Do it.
I'll just whoop your ass, motherfucker.
Oh, he took the cross off. There you go. He got it.
That's his only way of saving her, man. It's the only way.
Oh, that looks so good like that.
I don't know, man.
No.
I'm not sure if they'll keep Pazuzu. I don't know.
Just down the stairs. Mother.
There's no telling with Flanagan.
And then you just see that. Then you see that, and then you realize how one dude died. When you think about
Yep.
it, like the way he's laying there, yeah.
Yep.
You'll see his buddy come up and do last rites on him, too. That's what's crazy. He gets there like right in time. Oh, that's so good. Like the pan out shot, everybody there. He's like,
yeah. And the Father Dyer is shaking because Freakin had just slapped the shit out of him. Because he
you want
had just
to do a
done
confession? Look at that. Yeah, he's all grabbing his hand. You want to do a confession? It's like,
yeah. Freakin slaps him so that he's able to do the scene again because he had done it like 15 times and he just couldn't nail it. So Freakin's like, "Do you trust me?" And he's like, "Yeah, I trust you." He's a slap. And he says, "Roll."
yeah, that's where he gives him his last rites. That's crazy. Yeah, they're friends.
Yep, he slapped the shit out of him. I was like, wow. That's right, you slapped him right there.
Yep. Just like, when we do Exorcist 3 eventually, you'll see a totally different, just puts it on its head storyline, which you didn't see coming. Seeing it for the first time, you're like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And they're all packing up, getting ready to leave.
Well, I think the interesting here is Sharon doesn't go with them.
No, she stays.
Yeah. She's had all the family she could take, man. So I love y'all, but fuck. Just in case, I think I'll just get a different job. She's like, no, man, I'm just going to move on, I think.
That's right, she has a medallion there. Found this in the room. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, she's been holding on to it all this time. She wasn't sure whether to give it to her or not. Yep. She knew whose that was. Or she was just waiting to give it to her when she wasn't around Reagan, probably. Because they think Reagan doesn't remember. But she does.
Seen in a second with the priest.
She does remember, yep.
Yeah.
She at least she remembers something. We know she recollects something.
This is a good conversation.
Scary to think what she does remember.
She's doing better? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, honey, this is Father Dyer. Yeah, because she saw he was a priest. Yeah, she saw that into it.
See, that kiss, man, that said it all.
Yeah.
That was a thank you kiss.
Yeah, that was a thank you for
Saving her life. Saving her soul.
Hi, Father.
And this, you know, the end of this shows such great hope. Because, you know, you see her birth of a new friendship.
Yeah, you see her give him the medallion. Yeah. Belonged to him.
Yeah. Now,
And
in the in the 1973 version,
keep it.
Yeah. In the 1973 version, he keeps it. He doesn't give it back to her.
She waves goodbye to him, too.
Yeah, in the 1973 version, he keeps it.
Yeah, he keeps that. Yeah.
Yep, he sure does. He sure does.
It's just him, really. He's alone. Yeah, he walks down those steps. He stops for a second.
Yep. And then it ends right here. But in this version, he meets back up with Kinderman. People still go to these steps daily. Take pictures and shit. Yeah. Birth of a new friendship.
Yeah. Yeah, there he is. Just missed her. How's the girl? That's what makes Exorcist 3 posters so iconic, because it's Kinderman on the top of those steps. There's a shadow of him looking down. Yeah.
Completely different kind of film, but
yes, yeah.
but
it almost harkens back.
But still really good.
Go to film? Yeah.
Yeah. I get free passes, yeah.
Yeah, Wuthering Heights, that's based off an old book, too. That's pretty gothic and evil in its own self, too. Yeah. That's early Giallo type stuff.
Jackie Gleason. Lucille Ball. I've seen it. Another one. Another smart ass.
Yeah.
He's just a lonely guy that likes to see movies, but his wife doesn't.
Windows all boarded up and shit.
He just wants somebody to do shit with.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the director's cut of that film. Very good. Now, written, produced a screen by William Peter Blatty. Yeah. Adapted from the novel. That's a rarity when you get the author and director, like, it's like with Kubrick and the 2001: A Space Odyssey. The author and him, those two came out around the same time. So, but yeah, if I was doing a ranking for this film, it's a 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, for films in general, it's top 10 greatest films of all time, in my opinion. Just as an all-around film, you can put this in any category you want. It's horror, it's drama, it's just like everything. So it's really.
Well, I never give anything, hardly ever do I give anything more than an 8 out of 10. Hardly ever.
Yeah.
I give this probably 9.75 out of 10.
Yeah. Like, it's almost perfect. Really.
Yes,
I mean, it's pretty close. Like I said, freaking great director. He did another film, which I have on my wish list. It finally came back in stock on Amazon. That's Sorcerer with Roy Schreider. That has Tangerine Dream soundtrack and that bad boy. I've not seen that film. Of course, he came to direct a lot of films like Bug. Later films, Bug. You have
Killer Joe. Killer Joe's great too.
Killer Joe. What's it called? The Hunted with Benicio del Toro. I think that's what it's called. And
Guardian. Yeah,
Guardian and stuff like that too. I have the Guardian. Yeah, the funky fairy tale, if you call it. And like say Cruising and French Connection. I mean, he all-time great director. And
Ninth Configuration.
Yeah, Ninth Configuration. But like I say, all-time film. That's The Exorcist, ladies and gentlemen. Keith, what are your plans on your channel, my friend?
Oh man, well, I've switched over. I'm doing a lot more music now. I'm doing a few film reviews. I did one
saw that
on in Violent Nature. But I did it as a post.
Yes,
that's a new format that I'm going to be using as far as actual reviews that aren't going to be posted. Are actually going to be on the channel. I'm going to be doing a 56th anniversary on the 1st of October for Night of the Living Dead, and I'm going to be doing that. It's going to be it's not going to be a watch or anything. It's going to be a discussion. It's just going to be a discussion and just a talk about it, and with a couple different people. And then on I do believe Ninja and Night Watch Zone is going to be with me on that. And then on the 11th, JT. So far, it's going to be JT. I'm going to ask a few other people. You're welcome to join me on that on October 11th for the 50th anniversary of the Texas Chainsaw
Massacre. Yes.
So you're welcome to join me on that
Oh, I
one.
appreciate that, Keith. Yeah, see if I'm available. Yeah, absolutely. Spooky season is here. Yeah, absolutely.
Can't miss the 50th of Texas Chainsaw.
Not at all.
That's top one or two movies, top one or two all-time movies for me. So
yeah, absolutely.
Other than that, we'll just see. I'm back at it full time, doing all kinds of different shit. There's no telling what I'm going to be doing.
Love it. Yeah, same thing with me. I'm on vacation this week, getting the car oiled up tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll be up to see my parents. They live up in Trinity County here in California. So hopefully, I'll be out of here, hopefully before noon. Hopefully. Like I say, this is number 5 in films I own that I watch, part of the 50 films. So I have 4 more to go. I'll finish that up when I come back from vacation. Expect next Giallo showcase. I might be doing Black Belly of the Tarantula. I think that will be my next one. I know that's playing on Shudder right now. So I know Celluloid Dreams is going to be releasing that. That's another future release from them. I recently did their first release ever from their label. Can't think of it right now, but I do see it. I did, The Case of the Bloody Iris. If you don't have this, get this release. This is this is up there for my release of the year. This is a great Giallo. This is top tier for me. I gotta love Edwidge Finish in that. I have my review up for that. Slasher Showcase, that'll be coming back probably next week. Kill Game, I was going to originally do it this week, or last Saturday, but yeah, I just didn't feel like doing that, so expect that one. And then, just future content. I plan on doing a slasher stream off the blade with Darren. We're talking about Giallos, so he's going to pick some Giallos that I haven't seen for me to watch. So we're going to go through some Giallos that maybe some people haven't heard of and stuff like that, and give some recommendations. And then future content with the slasher stream. We have, just future content and, just release stuff when I can. Like I say, just have fun doing what you're doing, everybody. Like I say, it's great to have Keith back doing what he's doing, and just do what you love, man. Like I said, this is a hobby. This isn't a job, and I just have fun. It's my passion, and I have great people here, and love the horror fam, man. You're the best family in the world, best community in the world. So anyway, you all have a great evening. Happy 23rd or 24th, wherever you're all at. I'm Chris C., the Slasher Dude, and he is.
I'm Agoraphobe, and you are not. Have a nice evening.
Definitely true. Y'all do too. Slash the like, hit the subscribe, put the black gloves on, man, and hit the notification bell. And y'all have a great evening or morning. See y'all next time. Take care, everybody.